Hey, now, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. That's the first one. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me this morning. Can you hear me this morning? What's going on, Dina? Good morning, Dina. My good friend, Dina. How you doing, Dina? Dina, can you hear me? Love you too, Dina. Appreciate everything. Can you hear me pretty good? Let me know if you can hear me, Dina. I need to know if you can hear me. If you can hear me. Who all was chiming in? I can't see all see Dina, okay, Dina, Craig, and Brian. Okay. A couple people in here. Mr. Stoops, can you hear me? Volume okay? Volume okay, Mr. Stoops? Is the volume okay? Y'all let me know what's up with this volume. I see we got about 6 people in here. Let's go ahead and let's get this volume. Uh, said it's muzzled. Okay. I can hear you clear now. Okay. All right. You need to get on. Can't hear you or muzzle. You need to get off. You need to get on your personal page. Travisha, you got to get on your personal page. Okay, everybody else saying that the sound is good. I'm trying to figure out why how you do that, buddy? Okay, everybody's saying that the sound is good. DJ, okay, everybody saying now it's good. Now it's good. Okay, here we go. Listen, guys, good morning. Welcome to the Todd Mickens Let's Talk About It podcast. Listen, guys, it's been a long week. included long weekend. I've been out of town. Uh, had a long drive there, but had an awesome, tremendous, heartwarming, just a celebration of family and friends and good food, good fun, um, good music. I mean, just a whole bunch of good stuff, man. Y'all can see I'm kind of in my y'all catching me in rare form right now. Mary Mickens, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in, Mary. Sound is good. She got to go out and okay, yeah, yeah. Whoever sound is not uh hitting, you have to go out and come back in because it's everybody else saying that the sound is good, and I'm checking. Sound is good. Yeah, I'm checking my other audio, and it's coming in clear. Y'all see, I have a different background today. I had some uh well, when you have some technical difficulties, you just got to find out how to get around it. You got to find out. Listen, I feel good this morning. How was everybody's Thanksgiving? Um, I can tell y'all mine was awesome. I was listen, my Thanksgiving was awesome. We went and like I said, just gonna give y'all a little bit of ins and outs so we can get the show started. I got a particular topic, a couple of topics I want to talk about this morning. And y'all go ahead and share the live. And matter of fact, while we're here, before I get started, let's get Deacon Stoops, Craig Stoops, good friend of mine, inspirational reader, inspirational word of the morning. As we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to love by them. Said not by none other than John F. Kennedy. Yes, man, that's a good one right there. I like that. But to love by them. We must never forget the highest appreciation is not to utter the words, but to love by them. Uh, Craig, okay, let's get on down. Craig says, um, any day spending with my mom is a good one. Yeah, man. I listen. I understand that, man. Matter of fact, speaking of which Craig, that sound okay should live by them. So that's when it got you. So this should say, as we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them. That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah, I was trying to figure it out like something ain't clicking right, but I got what you were saying. But yeah, but you went straight into a good segment there. Any day spending with mama is a good day. Um, that's why this holiday season we took a trip down to the muddy, took a trip down to Mississippi. That's where my wife is from. She's from a town, Monticello, Mississippi. You may not hear of the town Monticello more than you hear about like Jackson or the bigger cities, but it's a nice close knitted community, Monticello. You might hear about Prentice or either Meridian before you hear about Monticello, where everything is pretty much in an hour's drive from each other. But Monticello, Mississippi, nice little small town. I call it the muddy. Oh, my father-in-law on here. Matter of fact, Michael West, he's on here. That's my father. Yeah, I don't know what happened just now. Can y'all still hear me? Cause something happened just now. But yeah, let me make sure because these I don't know what's going on with this. Okay, it's still on there. But yeah, but like I was saying, Craig said any day spending with mom is a good day. Well, we went on down to the muddy, went on down to Mississippi and spent time with uh, my wife's family. Uh, 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 Mama Nav and Paw West. Yeah, man. And listen, when I tell y'all, me and Paw West, Mike West, when I tell y'all we listen, we party. And listen, I'm gonna tell y'all something, man. When y'all hear the words party, I know people probably think all. Listen,
I look at partying as just getting together with people who you love and fellowship, sitting back, listening to some good music, eating, laughing, joking around, and just being around. I mean, man, we listen. I know me and him, we probably sat out on the porch the first night, and we probably listened about 8 hours worth of music and just laugh and just eat and just had a good time. Of course, he was battling which one of the granddaughters he had to get the most attention to because all of them was on him. They was on him. They was on him. All the grands was on him. Bro. He had to, you know, my daughter, my wife's sister daughters, two daughters. I mean, I mean, he was just showing his love. I could see it in his eyes, just sitting back, looking at his grands and enjoying his family. Um, Mama West, she and they cooking, her, my wife, and mother, and my sister-in-law, Tam. I mean, man, it was just good, man. It was just good. Uh, what's going on, man? Appreciate, hey, Strickland, man. Hey, Renewed of the Carolinas, man, is an awesome, awesome group, man. If y'all have any type of program and you want a professional, awesome group to come give y'all your money's worth, you need to call Renewed of the Carolinas. Renewed of the Carolinas display professionalism from all points. They are men and women of their word, and they come and give you good, clean, quality gospel music. They don't come to perform. They come to praise the Lord. They get it in. They get it in. Yeah, my wife talking about, hey, yeah, good morning, daddy. Yeah, 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 yeah. Y'all two call each other. Don't be doing all that right there. Yeah. Yeah, Mike said he enjoyed man, Mike, man, listen, and listen, talking about always making sure they um they take care of me to the fullest. Man, I ain't got to worry about nothing when I go down there, boy. Lord, listen, they make me not want to go home. Telling you right now, y'all ever go on a trip and you feel like sometimes, man, I don't even want to go home. I just want to stay right here. I don't want to do nothing. And you know what? One thing I know, if I was to tell Michael West or Neville West, listen, I ain't going nowhere. I'm staying here. You know what they do? All right, go on in that room back there and get yourself right. I ain't got to worry about going nowhere. That's good, people. Man, listen, like Craig said, my wife, we don't get to go down there as often because of the distance. It's about a good 10-hour ride driving. But we went down there, got down there the night before Thanksgiving, and man, it was just home, man. I'm listen, good eating. I mean, just having fun. And like I said, I'm normally here with my family probably 90% of the time because I live within 5 miles of everybody in my family. Everybody within 5 miles. So, um, and normally I have to work or the schedule didn't work out, but uh, 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 thankfully I was able to get off. Cheryl, good morning. What's going on, Cheryl? How you doing? Uh, I was able to get off and um, and I had called my mom when I got down there. I called my mom. I said, "Yeah, mom, I'm down here. Um, BB and her family, we down here having a good time." She was like, "Well, son," she said, "let me tell you something." She said, "As much as you work, you need to just." Because I told her, she said, "Well, what you doing down there?" I said, "Well, mom, I ain't doing nothing." I said, "The girls in the kitchen cooking." Um, this is the first day because um, we was supposed to get with Paul Mike, but man, we got held up in Jackson, Mississippi. I said, "Mom, I'm just sitting back taking advantage of this. I'll just laying it. I would go lay in the bed, uh, and then I would go outside, sit on the porch, lay in the bed, go outside, sit on the porch." And my mom said, "Well, son, you deserve it. You don't go nowhere. You don't do that." She said, "Take advantage of your rest." She said, "Yeah, we're gonna have a little dinner, So she had already told us, to come over if we wasn't going out of town. Um, so when I finally called, said, "Yeah, I'm down in Mississippi," she was like, "Listen, take advantage of your rest, have a good time, enjoy your family." And man, we was already in second gear, getting everything. Uh, man, it was just fun. I'm all over the place today because I am so excited. Cheryl, I had a good time, Cheryl. I'm telling you right now, I had a good time. And like I said, my father-in-law, Mike West, listen, got some of the best. I don't know where he get this catfish from. I'm telling y'all right now, South Carolina. Well, listen, it's a couple of things that he got that ain't South Carolina ain't got nothing on. He got one of the biggest musical collections. Man, listen, I'm talking about man, 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 man. He said, "Glad you enjoy." Yeah, man, all about the family, man. I told Mike West, I said, man, every time I come down here, we gonna have a party. I'm telling you, everything. I don't care what we come down there for. I'm going on the porch. I took my little Bluetooth speaker down there. I told my father-in-law, I said, next time we come down here, I'm bringing the big speaker. We gonna keep the whole town up all night. We tried to keep them up all night for 2 nights straight, but we had to shut it down a couple of times. But man, oh man. But like I said, I got time to just sit back and enjoy family and just I got to see my wife in her element. You know, the times have changed where it used to be back in the day that my wife, her sisters, and of course her cousins, brothers, they was the ones that probably was running around in the yard or waiting on food to be cooked or whatever. But now the tides have changed. You know, the parents have gotten older now. They have got older now. So now it was good to see that the family tradition, the family things that should go on in the family still is happening. It's just that, you know, Pop and listen, now Pops was frying some fish now. Yeah, now he ain't just listen, he ain't just get there and just chill. He been handling the fish, you know, but listen, he was able to sit back and just enjoy himself. My wife and her sister and my mother-in-law was in there handling the food, the kids. She was out. My wife called herself running out in the yard with the kids playing hide go seek. I don't know. She got tired real quick. I ain't gonna lie to you. Yep, she got tired real quick. She hurried up. They kept trying to send the children. One of them, my goddaughter, Tegan. Lord, let me tell you something right here. Y'all, I ain't talking about my family. Nope, I ain't talking about my family. But let me tell you something. Tegan, you just got to be ready. Listen, my goddaughter named Tegan. If you ain't got your stuff together, you don't need to mess with my goddaughter Tegan now. My goddaughter Tegan will keep you on your toes and have you wondering who the adult is, you or her. Cause I told everybody, I said, man, she got an old soul. I don't know. She just knows how to listen. Don't worry about it, because possibly maybe this upcoming summer, she might be up here. And you know, everybody always, especially when it comes to the adults, the men, Paw gonna get you right. God Daddy gonna get you right. I be saying to myself, man, ain't too much I can do with her, because she she is her own little woman. Beautiful young lady. Tegan. I love her. She's my goddaughter. And I'm gonna tell y'all something real quick and I'll move on. I don't take it lightly too much about being godparents of nobody. Yeah. My wife would tell you, people don't ask us to be godparents and fathers. Like, listen, whoa. I'm gonna tell you, being a godparent is very important. Y'all, I don't think y'all understand what being a godparent is. You know, you saying a lot when you talking about being a godparent. You saying that you're gonna take on responsibilities that the parent may not be able to take. You the one that's gonna help remember the birthdays and the graduations, and if something happened to the parent, you supposed to be one of the first ones that are willing to take these children up on their way. Listen, God being a godparent ain't just a title, it's an assignment. Okay, being a godparent is an assignment. Cheryl was saying that's what's up. Brian was saying it's great to spend time with family. Oh, good brother, Jabari. Good morning. The background looking like an Easter song. Hey man, listen. That's cause man, my doggone matter of fact, let me see if I can see Jabari done got me jacked up. Let me see if I can switch it out, man. Let me see if it look a little better. How about this right here, man? How about that? How about that right there? Let's just go with that. Let's just go with that. Now I look like Dr. Phil up here, right? Yeah, yeah. But I see my pops is in here. What's going on, pops? That's my matter of fact, Mike West. I think my pops is in Mississippi right now, if I'm not mistaken. I think he in. I don't know what. I don't remember what part of Mississippi he's in, but he was about 3 hours away from where he was going to be. 3 hours from where we was going to be at. But yeah, him and my brothers and my cousin, they in the SIP. Dina says, let's see. Great morning to you. Talk. What's going on, Floyd? Floyd, listen, man. I had already told Strickland, man. Listen. Renewed of Carolina has an awesome group. These are guys that are men and women of their word. They come and are listen. Floyd is probably we've been knowing Floyd ever since my dad group started. It's got to be, let me see, if this day 26th anniversary, we got to be knowing Floyd for about 25 years. We met Floyd a long time ago, and Floyd ain't never changed up the game. Floyd been always been Floyd. He had Strickland some good musicians. It's just Strickland. I know Floyd just a tad bit more, so I'm a little partial with Floyd than I is with you. You know, both y'all some great musicians. Amen. I say amen like we in church, but yeah, Floyd. I mean, Floyd, and I've been knowing Floyd a long time, and talk about professionalism though. But the group Renewed of the Carolinas, I'm telling y'all, book them. They gonna give you, and they got a little man on there. That's all I'm gonna say. They got the little man on there. All I'm gonna say, the Bible say, train them up. Little man was wide open, boy. Yeah. Your boy said he'll take it. Portia, what's going on, Portia? How you doing? Glad you're in the building. Listen, we talking about spending time with family. Things that I'm thankful for is, of course, and like I said, my father's on it. Lou Williams, what's going on, Lou? Lou, man, I got to get y'all group on the show, man. What's going on, Lou? That was supposed to happen a while back. Lou, let's get it on there. Timothy Wesley, what's going on? Yeah, man, y'all come on in. Listen, definitely, we are in church, Pastor. I forgot what happened, what I did, sure, what I did. But like I said, my pops on here, my pops in Mississippi on here. Y'all listen, I'm thankful. I'm gonna just get this thankful thing going. I'm thankful that I'm of course my family, friends, thankful for my everything that's connected to the TV show, everything that's connected to the podcast, everything that's just connected. Of course, like I say, y'all see me up front doing a lot of stuff, but my wife does probably 85 to 90% of the background non-scene work that makes everything possible. Matter of fact, speaking of which, perfect timing. She just popped in. She is coming in. Y'all know what time it is. It's a segment every morning brought to you by Hell Hot Coffee from my wife, Tavisha, who bring me a cup of hot coffee that's hot as hell. As hot as it. That's right. You ain't gonna find no coffee, no way, that's hotter than this Hell Hot Coffee right here. Okay, she did good today. Yeah, she did good today. Yeah, so I'm thankful for. Let's see. Cedric said, "Let me grab it. It was a great time. Hey man, listen, they want you back. That's all I'm gonna say. They want you back in there, Doc. They want you. It's good to be in the land. Yes, it is. It is." She said, "When you are saying, oh yeah, you're right. yeah, right. You're right, sure. But like I said, my pops, you know, and it's good. I don't know if my pops and my father-in-law met. I think maybe once. Did they meet once? But I would just love, cause see, my pops is my pops. Listen, if y'all want to know some old school music, cause Pop West got that music. But my daddy, especially with gospel music and with the blues and it, my daddy got a library of music. I be hearing songs that he sing now, and he may change them up a little bit. And I remember being in rehearsals when I was with the group, and he'd say something like, "There's a song that used to go like this right here, something," and we be looking around, and he would kind of just change around to make it fit. And I just heard what's the name of that group? One of them songs. Somebody was telling me, "Yeah, man, I'm singing with such group," and they told me listen to the album. The group started back in 76, and one of the songs I remember my dad singing, I can tell he kind of got the idea from the song. I was like, man, Pops knows. I would love to see Pops and Pops get together and just sit up on the car porch and just listen to music. I'm talking about blues. I'm talking about R&B. I'm talking about. Let me tell y'all something. Some of y'all church folks, y'all know I'm a fuss at you now. Y'all better enjoy life, man. Y'all better listen. I would love to see them just sit back and listen to music. They probably could, because see, now, my father, Mike West, when I was playing them old songs yesterday, he was calling out names and singing all the lyrics. Well, not yesterday, but day before yesterday and the day before that. And I was just sitting there, It ain't nothing like being with, matter of fact, and Pop West, you said something that caught my ear. Let me tell y'all something. You got to be listening to what our elders, to what our loved ones were saying. Pop West said, you got to come on down more often, son-in-law. You got to come on down again. Immediately in my head, especially when matter of fact, he had my goddaughter Tegan in his lap, and my daughter was sitting over there to the right. Them two, talk about that. Now, you know what? My daughter and Pop West, them two, listen, let me finish this first. I'm going to get back to that. He said, yeah, man, y'all got to come down more. I said in my mind immediately then, listen, I'm going to do my best and my darndest when I can to get down and spend time with the folks that you love. Because it's all about getting the memories in. It's all about, and no, I ain't saying nothing happening to nobody, no, but it just, listen, if it's that important for those family members that we don't get to see a lot, and some of us live within walking distance of family members that we don't see a lot. Listen, sometimes it's just the conversation and the sit down. I told my wife, I said, yeah, we got to, my wife tried to get down there as much as she can because of my work schedule. A lot of times I tell my wife, I say, well, hey, well, you go ahead and go, her and my daughter go. But yeah, because of my work, but even my mom said, son, you go down there and you enjoy yourself. And mama, daddy, that's what I did. I had such a good time. But talking about, I was talking about Tegan too, but my daughter and my daddy got this crazy that's that peepaw granddaughter relationship. And then my daughter and my wife, dad, it's like she got two grandpas, one on peepaw, the other one papa. And both of them, listen, they got the craziest relationship that is. Man, listen, it's a dynamic that's why I say I would love to see them two together, because the relationship that my dad got with my daughter, he called her Michelle. She was talking to him when we were down in Mississippi. He was on the phone, just Michelle, tell everybody. She was like, Peepaw, you just, and then, my wife, daddy, he over here, I'm talking about, I was just seeing, which is what we need to make sure our kids do, is talk to our parents, keep that grandparent, grandfather, grandmother relationship. And I'm going to tell you something we got to start doing too. I don't know how we lost our way with this, but we got to get back to make sure our kids know their aunts and uncles and go visit these jokers. I know my wife wanted to go visit a couple people. We was only down there for what 3.5 days, and you know, you can't see everybody. You know, she wanted to go see everybody, but because of time, because of the cooking, you know, she got an uncle named Uncle Tyke. I got up early. I had them worked out. Uncle Tyke, baby, how old is Uncle Tyke? Michael West, how old is Uncle Tyke? I don't know how old Uncle Tyke is, but every time I come home, see, when I first met Uncle Tyke, there was a pond across the road. He told me to go fishing in the pond, right? And he asked me, did I know how to use the open face reel? I lied. That's right. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't know what an open face reel was. My daddy, listen, when me and my daddy went fishing, me and my daddy had a cane pole, and my daddy had his favorite fishing thing. I think he called it Zipco. My daddy, listen, that fishing rod that got that button on it, that's all my daddy want right there. My daddy ain't care nothing about nothing but a brim buster, a cane pole, and a zip thing. That's all I knew. So Uncle Tyke said, well, you know how to use, Uncle Tyke, 85. 85. Let me get these comments real quick, and then I'm going to finish this. The Sing Crew, what's going on, man? God bless you, man. Hey, got to get y'all on the show. Jabari says, family is intricate, is an intricate part of life. At times, they will test your patience, teach you how to forgive, compel you to love, and show you a lot about yourself. No matter how much we love, how much we evolve, it's healthy to embrace and fellowship with our family while they're still living. Perfect. Going into the segment I'm talking about, man. Yes, sir. Tammy, what's going on? Tammy, you tell Eric, congratulations to Eric McLean and the AC4 football team. They went undefeated all year, but they lost I guess they lost the championship game in the last couple of minutes. You tell that young man, keep his head up. Awesome young man, always been respectful. They call him Lil Eric, but you got to call him Big E. Listen, tell him he did an awesome job. I be watching, Eric. You tell him I be watching and I be attentive. Yeah. Ron Cunningham said it's a different kind. Yeah, it is. 85. Going back to Uncle Tyke. Uncle Tyke don't say much, right? But back to the I got the open face reel. Went across the street to the pond. Ain't know what the heck I was doing. Man, I tell Uncle Tyke reel. I couldn't get the thing was all twisted up. And that was 20 that was 20-something years ago. And I keep telling him I'm gonna buy him a reel. And every time he see me or my wife come down, he always say, yeah, I ain't see my reel yet. And I just laugh. I put my head down. Or he sent a message back by my wife, but he was on the porch. And this is the thing I'm learning to do more. It's just to have patience. And sometimes just being in somebody's presence or listening to them talk. They don't need gifts. They don't need money. They don't need the accolades. All they need is your time and your presence. We sat there and probably talked about nothing but something for about an hour. And I just sat there and I soaked it up. Stephen Bridges, brother. Stephen Bridges, what's up? Yeah, I just soaked it up, man. I just soaked it up. Uncle Tyke, he 85 years old, still getting around, doing this thing. And listen, even when the silence came in the conversation, see, some of us ain't got enough patience just to sit through the conversation. Even through the silence, he would sit there and we might be in a talk about something for 2 or 3 minutes. Then he said, yeah, mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Then he'd get up and take about 3 steps, and I take 3 steps with him, and yeah. Mm-hmm. Wasn't saying nothing, but you know what I was doing? Yes, sir. Yep. Mm-hmm. And it was like a communication that I ain't know what he was talking about, but I would agree with him. Mm-hmm. Yep. Then he'd talk about the car. Yeah, the car, such and such. And yeah. He said, well, let me go on across this road. You walk on back. Then we take about 10 steps. And I've been waiting on him to leave. Then he stopped. Yep. And listen, why is this here? Why is the men? And you know what? My daddy do the same thing. If you go to my mom and dad's house and you talking, especially with my sisters and my brothers, our cars, if he sees something on the car, why do the parents or the uncles or the older feel like they can fix it on the spot? My niece Taylor fender was messed up. Now me and him, listen, I don't know what the heck happened to her fender. Right? Me and him, we out there. He out there. He got me out there like I'm an insurance adjuster trying to figure out what happened to the car. Come to find out, he worked for General Motors for many years. I think it was General Motors. Listen, we out here by the car. We can see there was a yellow streak on the side of the car, and the way the bumper was bent up on the back. I'm telling you, he ain't had no tools. This is good times, guys. Good time. I could have missed all it. It was fun. This is good time. He ain't had no tools, nothing but a pair of gloves. And he messed around with that bumper for about 20 minutes. Then at the last minute, he said, man, I don't know what. Man, I can't do nothing with that. I'm saying to myself, man, you should have figured that out 15 minutes ago. You ain't got no tools. But then I thought he was going to keep on walking. Because remember, he supposed to be walking and go back home. You know, he probably stayed like maybe 50, 100 yards away, all on one big property, right? You can see his house from my wife's mother house. As soon as you walk out the door, you can see his house probably about an acre and a half, 2 acres away, maybe 4 acres. And now he got me trying to figure out, well, what you think happened? And you know what? I've been crazy enough to try to figure it out. Well, it looked like she backed up into something. I was an insurance adjuster in Mississippi this week, y'all. That's right. Y'all know I'm a truck driver by trade. I weld also, but Uncle Titan turned me into an insurance adjuster. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so after that 20 minutes, and then while he was trying to fix the bumper, he wasn't saying nothing. But yeah. Mm-hmm. And it looked like he kept looking to the side to making sure I wasn't going nowhere. And, you know, he came over there fully dressed. I just came outside. I had on my jogging pants and probably this other shirt like this here, the gray one. So it was a little breeze. He had on his little jacket and gloves. So I'm out there, you know. Yes, sir. He up there. Mm-hmm. So he looking. I know he looking to maybe Uncle Tyke was doing that on purpose. Maybe he was doing that, but listen. So then after that, he said, well, I can't do nothing with that. After we talked about how we think what happened, then we walked a little further. Then my mother-in-law, Trump, she backed up into a car a couple weeks ago. He messed around and saw that. I'm like, now this thing happened a couple weeks. He ain't gonna tell me he ain't know that already. He gonna stop and say, well, I wonder what happened to that right there. And I looked, I said, well, yeah, well, you know, I think she backed up into Sonny's car the other day. She was backing out and blah, blah, blah. And lo and behold, he bent down and started working on the bumper. Ain't had no tools. I'm talking about another 15 minutes. Ain't saying a word. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Then he looking kind of out the corner of his eye. I hadn't got cold in. I was about to say, look here, Tyke. You either gonna go home and get some wrenches and come back, or I got to put you out. Yeah, but man, it was just that spending that time that I know he enjoyed. So, like I said, my wife, she always said, well, next time we go down there, we're going to just, you know, sit with Uncle Tyke. As a matter of fact, even when I don't go, when she get to her mom's house, I said, make sure you go with Uncle Tyke's house. You know, my wife would try to see everybody. She, you know, she just like her daddy. Her daddy, listen, Mike West know everybody from Payton Town, Main Town, down the road. Listen, my wife people remind me of my daddy. My daddy know people names. I don't be knowing none of these people. My white people call out people names and listen, they call out roads and they know the whole family on the roads. And listen, they be like, yeah, they and them down there for Cornerstone. You talking about Dale with the 3 children and the daddy? What? Yeah, live off of Edgefield Road, off of 92. And you know what? I be sitting there like, especially her daddy. Listen, Mike West, I know you gonna get me. Mike, listen, I ain't care what. Mike West, we just found out yesterday that Mike West daddy was best friends with Aretha Franklin daddy. I mean, listen, I'm talking about all that. Yeah, down there by the creek, by the church, where this son. You talking about Jim them? No, not Jim them. Henry those. Oh, you talking about off of 13, down there by the ball field. Yeah, down there by the church with the light. That's how they communicate. I'm sitting there like, my daddy the same way. My daddy can tell you places, and I be saying like, my dad be like, yeah, you know, because down this time, no, Dad, I don't know what you talking about. But yeah, man. Ron said price this conversation. Yep. Matter of fact, it's a picture, and if I find it, I'll post it. It's a picture of me and my dad when we went fishing. I had a boat and we was going on a little fishing tournament my job had, but my boat ended up breaking as soon as we got in the water. It would only go in reverse. So since everybody had then came, we had drove about an hour away. We just told everybody else to go on, and we just waited on the dock. And then me and my daddy ended up sitting on the dock. We might have caught one big brim. I mean, it's a big brim. But a man who came back to the dock caught about, if my daddy's still on here, he probably remember this. He caught some big old bass, and he gave them to us. We had done got more fish than everybody who had done went. But it's a picture that I took of me and him, and it's, he was just sitting there. And those are the things that's most important. Listen, your parents, they don't need your money. It'd be good if you could help them. Matter of fact, let me say this. Some of us, give your parents a break. They done raised you. How about you give back to your parents? Me and my mom was talking the other day. I told my mama, because I never think I've been in a situation where I would, well, I'm not saying I'm too good where I don't need, but I've always put myself in a position. Because my daddy told me a long time ago, daddy said, my mom used to make me pay insurance on my car, which was just teaching me responsibility. My daddy, my brothers and sisters can tell you right now, he ain't never asked for a dime. I know he wasn't going to ask nothing from my sisters, but my dad ain't never asked for a dime from none of his boys in the house. We ain't had to pay no bills, none of that. My mama, we didn't see it at the time, but my mama was teaching us responsibility. I had a car. She said, you need to give me X amount of money for your car insurance. If she went grocery shopping, she would say something like, my mom used to say stuff like this here. I need a couple dollars. So you go get her $5. No, you said, how much is a couple dollars? She said, I need about 40. Great God, Mom, that ain't. She said, I need some lunch money for she be going to work and she come in my room. Todd, I need some lunch money. I said, how much money you need? About $20. Mom, you don't eat $20. But it was funny to us. I would do it anyway. But yeah, it is. I mean, oh man, I lost my train of thought. Where I was, somebody help me out. Oh yeah. My daddy used to be like, matter of fact, he called me in the room. I just talked to my mama the other day. I don't think I did nothing wrong, but I don't think I did nothing right. But I know he called me in the room and he closed the door. So I know when my daddy come in the room and close the door, it's kind of just hush and listen, see what he got to say, and just hope you make it out. But daddy came in and closed the door and said, now look, you walking around here. I must have did something. Because anytime he say, you walk around here with your shirt off, I had a little muscles back then. You getting of age now. But he told me, he said, listen, your mama asked you to pay for your insurance or put towards it. He said, but I don't want nothing from you. He said, because when you live here, when you leave here, I still got to pay the bills. He said, but if your mom asks you for something, you get it. He said, but I don't want nothing from you. And I was like, I didn't even understand the conversation until I got older. Yeah, I was like, Pops was teaching me then, listen, you the man of the house, you got to have the responsibility of your own house, parents, and this could be a learning curve. If you got your kids helping paying with bills in the house, once they leave, that's gonna almost be like it's a loss in income. And then I took it as this right here. I can't be needing help all the time and trying to go to my family or my mom and daddy and ask them to pull me out the hole again. They got their own hole to stay out of. Pops was like, I pay the bills here. Now, I ain't saying if anybody who got to go back and get help from their parents, I ain't saying it because I always say I'm not beneath that. But when I'm saying that was one of the main things in my life, I always said, after my daddy told me that, I was like, man, I just, Pops just told me straight, I don't need and I don't want your money, blah, blah, blah. But when your mom asks for something, you do such, and that just put that little train of thought in me that, man, I ain't gonna be asking my, demanding for my son or my daughters to do nothing, because when they leave here, you still got to pay the bills. But I say this also to your kids. Once y'all get from out of there, once you leave that, let your parents enjoy their fruits of their labor. Not saying that everybody may not need a little help, but they got to be. Matter of fact, I think me and my mama talked about this, had to be Wednesday night. Because no parent wants to see their child suffer. Now, listen, I ain't talking about children that's fresh. I'm talking about some of these 30, 40-year-old children. Y'all still got burdens on your parents. Your parents can't really enjoy themselves because they still got to worry about you. Pick your big girl and big boy drawers up and do what you got. Matter of fact, it was the other day I was talking about this. I even told somebody, I remember when me and my wife first got married, and we were just learning how to combine finances and wasn't really budgeting. We just newlyweds ain't know what we was doing. But it hadn't got to the point where I knew that I had to take a stand for myself to get out of depending on trying to see if I can hustle up a little money here. Y'all, I made myself suffer for 2 to 3 weeks. Because, I was buying lunch, snacks for about 2 to 3 weeks. Let me tell you what I ate at work. I went and bought, I don't know if my wife remember this. I went and bought those pack of saltine crackers. They got the long, that you eat with soup. I got the pack of saltine crackers and water. And for 2 to 3 weeks, that's all I ate at work. I get the crackers and water, go in my little corner. Hungry now. I wanted some Doritos and some M&Ms. No, sir. I spent like $2 on them pack of crackers. And then with the water, I used to go to the water jug and refill my bottle. But I knew then I was like, I got to get out of this spending money unnecessarily. That might be a life lesson for somebody. Yeah, I made myself suffer for 2 weeks. And I ain't even gonna say suffer. I guess I just put myself on discipline where, hey, you spending all this money, and then when bill time comes, you wonder where your money went at. How many of y'all know right now you probably can spend $80 to $70 a week in snacks and lunch? And you go to the grocery store now, you get 7 items and it's about $80 or $90 a week. Now you ain't getting the proper groceries in your house. You're coming up with an excuse to why you got to go out to eat. Y'all, I just got a lot of stuff to talk about today. Let me go back to some of these comments. Stephen Bridges, That's my family right there. I know y'all had a man, Steph, man. We had a good time. BB was running around in the creek barefooted down there. She was at home. She used to running around barefoot in the creek in the grass. Yep, down in the mud. Jabbar was laughing. Peyton Town strong. Yeah, man. Yeah. Look at she talking about Peyton Town, baby. We all for yeah. Matter of fact, Stephen, we saw your daddy brother down there at the Dollar General. I knew it was him because BB said there go Uncle Sonny brother, and I ain't even see his face. I just seen the back of his head. You know, all them British boys got their head. All your daddy brothers got. Listen, all your daddy brothers. Listen, all of them got that big jupe head. Yeah, all of them got that big jupe head. Yeah. Moms was testing y'all to see which child was going to take care of her. Yeah, listen. Yeah, you right. But listen, mom came in. I can guarantee you this much. I bet you my mama ain't never went in my sister's room and asked for no couple dollars. Talking about some couple dollars for some lunch. Asking, well, mom, how much is a couple dollars? You know, because you sitting there, because this when Bojangles, she was working out at Fort Jackson. And Bojangles had a 4-piece wing for $5. So I was like, when I gave her this $25 on Monday, I'm figuring she's straight for the week, right? Tuesday morning, same thing. Todd, ma'am, give me a couple dollars for lunch. She didn't need it. She thought it was funny. Well, mom, here you go. What's this? Mom, you said a couple dollars. Here you go, mom. She go out the door laughing. But I did find out this. One of her coworkers at work wasn't I just say wasn't as fortunate. She was helping buy one of her coworkers something to eat who was having a hard time. Yeah. But daddy, no sir. Some of these children abandon their parents. They want to show up at a funeral like they've been around and also want to see. Yeah, sad to say. Yeah. And you know what, man? People got to understand. And parents, if you're on here and you're listening, and children on here, if you listen, the conversation need to be had one day or another. Before that day comes, you just go ahead and put it in writing. Put it in writing. Let everybody know ahead of time. If and when something happened to me, this here is going to decide who does what. This is what I own. This is what I have. This going to go to such and such. It's just a conversation that's got to be had. This over here, I got a little bit of property. I got a couple dollars here. You know, I remember when my grandmother passed over 30 years ago, I guess. I remember when I remember getting back to the house and my uncle and aunt came in the house, and this is my mom's mom. And them jokers was fussing over who gonna get the deep freezer. I ain't gonna lie. My uncle and my aunt, they were hard down fighting. We just buried my grandmama. And them, I'm talking, they were hard down getting at it. Talking about the deep freezer. And my mama had to tell, mama said, how y'all gonna take a deep freezer? Because my Uncle Frank was still living there. They were gonna take the deep freezer. You'd be surprised at some of the stuff people fuss over after death. Huh? You'll be surprised some of the stuff people fuss over after death comes. So believe it or not, parents, me and my wife got to do it too. We got listen, you know, that way if something happened, you know, my daughter, my son, they ain't got to be worrying about what, hey, listen, this is what, but boom, boom. You know, the house, boom, boom, you know, this way, boom, boom. You know, and a lot of times, a lot of the kids move away from where they was raised up at, right? You know, and they evolve through job, work, education, whatever. And, you know, their parents have properties or whatever, and properties and land gets lost. And we got to stop saying to the white man, it ain't lost to the white man, it's lost to whoever gonna pay them taxes. Because once your parents die, once your grandmama and grandmama, pops them die, somebody got to pay the taxes on that land. And it's people that's all they do is ride around. They look at the newspaper. They waiting on land for somebody to miss paying them taxes on that land so they can get it. Oh, yes. And you wondering why people moving in the neighborhood on the land that Uncle such and such, or Mama June them used to have, is because you and your family, once your grandparents and uncles and people passed out, y'all ain't kept up what you needed to do with the land and the property. Y'all, we all over this house today. I know I is. Yep. 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 Yeah, you want to have an argument? Wait till somebody pass. You'll see. Cousin Lana, what's going on, man? Yeah, y'all, listen, this is just real stuff. Nobody want to think about death. And I ain't saying nobody go prepare for death. What I'm saying is you need to just write the vision and make it plain. My grandmama, my mother's mother, had her funeral, everything, had her cemetery plot, everything lined up. Boom, bam. That's just what it was. Yep. My grandmama knew where she was going to be laid down to rest at. All they had to do, once they found that paperwork and stuff, because it wasn't like they was expecting her to pass. She had a, if I'm not mistaken, she had like a cardiac thing or something. She had a heart attack. We had just left and went back to North Carolina. And as soon as we got home, we got the phone call and we had to come back. She was in the hospital, but unfortunately she passed. So it wasn't like she had to say, well, hey, I'm sick. Here's the paperwork. She just, she had a situation and she passed. So, but all her ducks was in a row. Yeah. Yeah. All her ducks was in a row. Yeah. We got to get our ducks in a row. Nobody want to think about death, but my daddy say this all the time. It's 2 dates that we ain't got no control over. That's that date that we born, and that's the date that we die. The only thing you got control over is that line that's in between. Right? And if I'm not mistaken, I think my daddy's mama kind of had her stuff situated. The way the funeral, I don't know. That was kind of weird. Yeah, my dad. That was, yeah. So I say that. Listen, y'all. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get with Dominique. Dominique is the lady that deals with insurance. Matter of fact, I'm gonna see if possibly she might be in here. I forgot her. Is it Dominique Collins? I'm gonna see if that's her. I hope I got the right Dominique, but yeah, I got to get with her, and we're gonna have a thing about life insurance and everything. Like I said, me and my wife even got to have a conversation. And like I said, you not preparing for death, but you are preparing to have your loved ones prepared for when and if something happens. Yeah. T, what's going on? Says that the taxes, where many are too lazy, too cheap to pay, yet want their name on the deeds. Listen, my mom and them got some property, 50 plus acres that's tied up and all. And let me tell you, now, this is important. If you don't know what you're doing with this land and property stuff, keep your hands keep your hands off the deeds and titles, because you're gonna mess up, and that land and property gonna get tied up in too many people's names, and ain't nobody gonna come to an agreement, and you're gonna lose it. You got people that live out the country, got their name tied on to some land, won't let it go, won't sell it to their family members or nothing. Everybody waiting on somebody. You know you ain't coming back to the country. Let it go. My mom and them got about 50-something plus acres of land, and it's just tied up into a bunch of foolishness. It's a crying shame when you can't do nothing with your own people land. You got to fight amongst your people to try to get it situated. What's wrong? Who get what get what. Listen, bottom line, some people in the family just ain't coming back to the area they was raised up in. Why not get the paperwork together and say, listen, I released that part. Listen, I'm not coming back. I'm gonna just name a town, okay? I'm not coming back to Bo Peep Town. I live in Michigan. Listen, whatever y'all want to do, we'll have land tied up in 100 people's names. And the man, not the white man, but some investor is just sitting back waiting. Then y'all wonder, these folks ain't even from around here. How they start building houses? What you mean? They done got them taxes paid. They building on your property. That should have been your property. Now, if you were smart, if you know you're not coming back, if you know you don't want nothing to do with the land, you keep your taxes up, you wait till development to start, and when the people start bringing them builders and companies and neighborhoods down, they gonna want to know, hey, yo, who owns this property right here? Property might not be worth nothing but 75, 100,000, because they want to build on it. You might get it for 250, 3. It ain't the man. It's somebody's job at some company to find land that's going into those little tax liens. And then they even give you a year once somebody else get it. They give you a year to get it back. Man, y'all better stop playing with me in here, man. T says again, the taxes that too many are too lazy, too cheap to pay, yet want their names on deeds of the property. Yet pay up or hush up. Yeah. Pay up or hush up. Our children don't value what we value. It's only stuff. Yeah, it's only stuff. Yeah. Yeah. You're right. You're right. They don't. And I believe they don't value it because they don't understand struggle. They don't understand I work for this so that you can see our parents and parents work for something so that theirs can have something. What's happening now is people just listen, long as me and mine good, I ain't worried about nothing else. Long as I live in a nice neighborhood, I ain't worried about nothing else. Y'all, I'm all over this house today, but let me facts. You can start with writing it out and get it notarized. Next step, create. Yeah. And it's a conversation that has to be had, guys. Has to be had. My father-in-law said that's real talk. Yeah. Yeah. Travell, what's going on, Travell? Good morning. Let me make sure I ain't missing nobody else in here. Tamika Hill, what's going on, Tamika? Dominique, listen, Dominique, and forgive me if I'm wrong, but this is the Dominique that does with the insurance, right? Let me get down to Travell saying that's right. Good morning, my brother. Tamika here. Good morning. So true. Dominique, this is the Dominique that we're gonna talk about life insurance and health insurance. Yeah, see that? There she go. She said, yes, sir, it's me. Now, Dominique, quick question. I know you can't come on, but with your information from insurance, is it life, health, short, long? Does it kind of tie in the wheels? You can just type it in what all it deals with, because we got to have this conversation soon. And I need y'all to spread the word that when Dominique comes on here, I need y'all to get you and your family members to sit down, and we got to go over the health, because we got to quit saying the man, they use listen, people who understand business, just listen, y'all be talking about Trump. I'm going to say this. Y'all be talking about Trump file for bankruptcy and Trump do this. Trump do everything that the government laws allow him to do. And he'll tell you that. Yeah, I filed for this, but that's what the law allows me to do. That's what the man does. They get these life insurance policies or life this, and they use what they can to be accessible and feasible for them and their family. Listen, even the words say our people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge, but we don't want to listen to nobody. We don't want to listen to nobody. Dominique, we talking about, actually we talking about a lot of stuff, but we kind of got on to, we all got to have that conversation about what's going to happen when we get on that, on that great getting up morning, our family members need to already have kind of an idea of what's left, life insurance, policy, plots, whatever. This is listen. Even if y'all don't be here for the truth, Dominique Collins, go to her inbox and inbox her. It's like, say, yeah, what do you deal with? What's your expertise in insurance? Okay, here we go. She says, I produce term life. Our company also does health insurance, even though open enrollment is coming to an end. We do investments, 401k. It's a lot. I can post. Yeah, post the flyer. I don't know if the flyer going to post in here, but I'll post it. Try to post it in here. Send it to my inbox, and I'll make sure I put the flyer on all my media platforms. Jabari says a lot of these loopholes laws were originally written by rich white men for the yeah. I can see. Yeah, thank you, Dominique. And Dominique, we'll just get with each other, and maybe in the next 2 weeks we'll get ready, or either sometime during the week, because I want you to be able to take your time. We just gonna talk. We just gonna get it out there. We're gonna try to get the we're gonna create a flyer for your podcast that day, so we can get people in here. And I'm pretty sure she doesn't mind if somebody else has some insurance or knowledge that cause listen, somebody always agrees, somebody always disagrees with something that you're doing. That's okay. This is a safe place where you can come and you can question. I have confidence that she doesn't mind you questioning whatever she brings to the table. Yeah. Loopholes. I'm glad Jabari is saying this right here. A lot of loopholes laws were originally, and see what has happened is some of our people have learned these loopholes, but they don't spread the information and let you know about the loopholes. All right, she said that works for me. Next 2 weeks sounds great. I'm here for anyone with knowledge. Knowledge is what we need, guys. Knowledge is what we need. Now, like I said, y'all, I done covered a lot of stuff. I done covered a lot of stuff. I want to, Matter of fact, I give you the perfect example. Jabari, I ain't gonna say he found a loophole, but when the Bitcoin things first kind of started coming out, Jabari could have kept the information he had to himself, but he even created a room and was trying, listen, guys, get on top of this Bitcoin stuff. He even told you, listen, I ain't telling you what to do your own research, but this is going to happen. This is going to help you to invest. He did that. Yeah. And that's the thing. People need to share information and not hold on to it. Everyone needs to flourish. Everyone needs to flourish. Yeah. Everyone needs to flourish. Man, this is a good I ain't even get to my topic of the day. But I think I got a few minutes to do it. We're gonna go to it. Thanks again, Dominique. I know I tagged you in and you came straight in. I definitely appreciate it. Love you for that. Appreciate you. Jabari probably, listen, I know Jabari can probably hold a entrepreneur's conversation, and I know in his circle of entrepreneurs, they probably could really just come on here and just kind of, say, hey, if you do this, this could happen. But see, the information is free, but the acceptance of the information, like he did with the Bitcoin. Listen, don't waste somebody's time. If you don't want the knowledge, or you don't have the patience or the discipline to listen to it, then don't waste nobody's time. Don't waste nobody's time. You're most welcome. Love you as always. All right, awesome. Listen, let me get on Tanisha Taylor, what's going on? Let me get on to the next topic. Me and my wife, I don't know how the conversation, I ain't gonna say me and my wife, hold up. Say Pastor Wade is always creating platforms for veterans, entrepreneurs. Say, well, you know what? I see where we need to go with this. That's gonna be maybe I need to get Pastor Wade on here and allow him to just put the conversation together. Because listen, I know nothing about these things, but if I can get people on here that can at least get the information out, and we'll lead them, it's all about the information, and then we direct the path. I love that right there. And unless anybody got any more questions about this, I'm gonna go on to my next topic, and y'all tell me whether I'm right or wrong on this, right? But there's a conversation. I don't know how the conversation came about, but we was talking about how or why was it accepted so much back in the days for men to have several families. When I say several families, back in the day, our grandpas had two families. Yeah, they did. They had two families. That's just the way it was. So the conversation was pretty much why did women allow that to happen? I guess pretty much in a nutshell. And this could be the last topic for the day. And I heard a response of women might have been weak, or they didn't have no self-esteem, or they just accepted everything. And all those answers could be right. But somebody in here, whether you want to believe it or not, your grandpa and them, they had more than one family. Some of our peoples had more than one family, and it was accepted. Okay, now I ain't saying nobody know, but let's just be honest. Can somebody type in here, why do they think that women dealt with the man of the house back then? Back in the day, we're not talking about, and we know that is wrong and it's not right, but back in the day, it was more or less accepted for men that had more than one family, two families. They might go to work for a week and come back home, and they, then they go, and the women kind of like knew about each other. Anybody type in here, why do we think that was accepted? There's no right or wrong answer. Come on, somebody, anybody, type it in here. Whatever you think, whether you think the women was weak-minded, whether you think the men were pimps, what do you think? Why? Where do you think it come from? All right, let's see. Dominique says, I say we had this conversation in my family. Women weren't able to make as much money or do as much as the men could. So many women allowed this like the thing, as long as he was taking care of home. Men, there you go. And see, that's an honest answer. Yeah. Many of them didn't work. Many of them, and back then, many of them stayed barefoot and pregnant. Yeah. Many of them stayed barefoot and pregnant. Yeah, that's right. I think it was because men were the breadwinners, so they had to take what men had to. Okay, now Kevin Samuels used to kind of talk about this right here. His concept was that women chose men who were able to take care of them, and they dealt with what came with the situation. The women knew about each other. Now, they might not can't be in the same club, hole in the wall. They might see each other out in the street and grocery store and fight or whatever, but they understood, Yeah. Somebody said, Papa was rolling. Matter of fact, that's how the conversation came about. We was riding in the car, and my daughter is a part in that song. Papa was a rolling stone. Wherever he laid his head was his home. And when he died, he left us all alone. So long time ago, she was singing that song, and we got to the part about when he died. She said, I looked at her like, hey, now you said that a little strong, because I'm like, hey, I'm living. Don't be talking about no different. But that's how the conversation came. Plus, the song had came on in the car, and then I think her and my wife just kind of had a casual conversation. And I let my wife say what she had to say, and my daughter's like, well, I don't understand how that could have happened. And see, a lot of times we only see stuff from our very present situation. My daughter don't understand that type of life, and I don't want her to. Because I mean, she shouldn't be okay with her man being, in another whole relationship. But that's how the conversation came. Yeah. Yes, Pop had this. Let me get one more answer. Anybody but one more answer, and then I'm gonna give y'all mine. One more answer. One more. Somebody. Anybody, one more answer. Monique, what's going on, Monique? One more answer, and we're gonna tackle this, and then we're gonna get out of here. One more answer. I'm gonna wait. It's 8:26 right now. I'm gonna wait till listen. Why do we think that women or families are allowed or was okay with men having more than one family? And they knew about it. Why? And I'm gonna give y'all a perspective. And there's no wrong answer. When I told my wife my answer last night, I think she probably thought at first, like, what? And then she kind of listened, like, oh, well, you know what? I ain't never thought about it like that. And I ain't saying that my answer is 100% right. All right, come on, somebody. Why did women accept back in the day two men that dealt with, let's just say, multiple households? I'm talking about taking care, house, kids, because he had got to the point where it was so prevalent, they had to let they had, hey, yo, that's your brother, that's your sister. No, that's your people right there. I'm waiting on one more answer. Jabbar, give me an answer. Why was it accepted? Because I don't think women liked it. I ain't gonna say that they were just like, yeah, I want my man to be with somebody else, but why was it accepted? Somebody come on. One more answer. Somebody listen. I know y'all in here. I just need a type. Somebody put something so I can get I can't wait to say my answer. Yeah. Okay, since y'all taking too long, man, bump y'all, man. Let me get on here. Let me see what I think. The reason why I think so many families allowed that, remember where we originally came from, right? Now, I want y'all to follow me with this. Over in Africa, men had multiple wives. Men took care of multiple families. Okay? Now, wait, follow me on this. When we was brought over here, a lot of times, men almost was put in a situation of, let me say this right, I don't from a road where especially a big buck, he was a breeder to a lot of families. The big honchos on the plantation fathered many children and had no connection to a lot of them. Move around from plantation to plantation, slave home to slave home, as well as not only our race of people, but the white man also did the same thing. Because the white man started sleeping with our sisters and having multiple families. Y'all know they kept the light skin children separate from the dark skin children, and they didn't get to come all the way in the house, but they had better living than the regular slaves. They wasn't acknowledged really, but they was acknowledged. I think it was something that was kind of brought down through now back in our African days. This is just one of my thoughts. Back in those days, it was a part of the custom for men, especially men who had the wealth to take care of multiple families. Not just because they wanted more than one woman, but they had the capabilities, they had status. Right? So I believe that kind of pondered on down from where these bucks or these breeders on these yards, they went from plantation to plantation or either on the plantation, and they just bred. And the women kind of I think it was in the mindset. Part of the reason why this stuff. So I think once they came out of that, I just think it just kept on going. Now, whether y'all agree with me or not, somebody say you crazy, somebody say you right, somebody say something. What do y'all think? Good morning, Helen. Do y'all think that could have had possibly something to do with why women accepted that, or why it was accepted? It was literally kind of what we knew. Not we, but what they knew. Because most of the families stayed separated on the plantation. You're right about that. Now, this is a different way to think, but also could be right. It was a part of their norm. It was a part of their norm to have, and listen, and to not be attached to it, because most of them knew, especially those bucks or those strong, hard working men. Oh, listen, master kept them fed good, and master kept them breathing. Yeah. A lot of them had no attachment to their kids because they knew at any given time, once they get of a certain age, they were snatched off and sold off into another plantation. This is one way of looking at it, guys. Like, there is no wrong answer, right? And the concept of it just, now think about it. Originally, our ancestors had, if they could afford it and they had status, they had wives, families that they took care of. Not because they wanted to be pimp daddy. It's just that's what it was. So when we got taken away from there and brought over here, and I don't know all the intricate details of how they, but they figured out, hey, let's start breeding and making this here and there, and let's, master sell his strong buck to someone and, breed it. Let's see what Roosevelt McCray said. What's going on, good brother, man? I'm glad you're tuning in, man. I can't say it was accepted, but many women had no choice in the matter. Excuse me. But women were trained by the older women to remain. Yeah, there we go. They were trained to stay no matter what. The family dynamic did not break. You stayed there. I ain't saying it's right or wrong, but that's all they knew. The women were trained by the older women. Matter of fact, if you watch some of these movies, and I think it'd be depicted so very well, where the woman would do whatever she had to do. When the master would come around or wipe, she would always grab her kids and hey, look down. Look, she did whatever she had to do to protect her. She trained her kids in advance. This is what you do to keep master off your back, and this is what you do to stay out of trouble. So imagine one mother teaching her son teaching his son. It's the same thing that just kept going down. Yeah. And like I said, there ain't no, it's not a demeaning conversation like women just allowed men. No, it ain't that type of conversation. It was, why do we think this happened? Because whether we want to admit it or not, some of our grandparents and great parents, they had several families. They had it. Yeah, Deacon such and such had a couple families out there. Go ahead. Yeah. Yeah, I like talking about the stuff that people like to talk about, but it's the truth. And then what happened, you mess around and get to the funeral, and you find out instead of having 6 or 7 children, you got about 13 or 14. Yeah. And you know who normally know? The wife. She already know. She know. Especially the grandmama. Grandmama know. Yeah. 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 Grandmama knew. Yeah. Evans, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in, Evans. Evans, tell me why you think back in the day women were more receptive or accepted a man taking care of more than one household back in the day. We had questions, we had answers that say that, like Dominique said earlier, women weren't able to make as much money or do as much as men could, so many women allowed this the thing, as long as he was taking care of home, me and mine are okay. So you got to think, if, like she's saying, if this mother accepted it, then her kids, especially if they knew they had the same concept. And remember, back in the day, our forefathers had multiple wives. Then Brian said, I think it was because men were breadwinners, so they had to take what they could get. Kevin Samuels talked about that a lot. Ron talking about Papa was a Rolling Stone. Yeah, wherever he laid his hat was his home. And when he died. Yeah. And Dominique agreed with my concept. All right. And now this is a different way to think about it. You can also be right. It was part of the norm. It didn't get situated or straightened out until after, well, I ain't gonna say it. Well, it wasn't more or less accepted until we got past the civil rights movement, and you know, we wasn't on the slave plantations. And I say it took about 20 years for it to get straight where the men, well, let's just say there was a period of time where men didn't have to worry about being taken away from their families. They knew it was safe to start a family. Do you know how many slave women too? Women would have babies here and get snatched up and have to go somewhere else and breed. And that's what they considered. They had to go breed in a whole nother plantation and take care. They had to take care of babies that wasn't even theirs. These are conversations, y'all. And again, Roosevelt says that it was accepted, but many women had no choice in the matter, but women were trained by the older. Roosevelt said again, is that my uncle had a herd of children, but we did not find out until the funeral he had. Yep, sometimes you ain't going to find out. You ain't going to find out until. Yeah. But I bet you I know who knew. I bet you his mom and grandmama knew. Huh? Papa said, we weren't as independent, or women weren't as independent as they are now. They had to accept it. They had to accept it. They had to accept it. Yeah, they had to accept it. It's just a comment. And listen, this conversation is not to demean the women or say that women should accept it. Now, this is just a great conversation piece that my daughter and my wife had. And like I said, the answer that my wife gave in the car, even my daughter, I ain't gonna say I didn't agree with it. I was just like, you know, okay, at first thought, because my daughter was serious. She said, well, why would women accept that? But she don't understand the dynamics of what was to what is now. And to be honest with you, it's not as prevalent, but some women, they accept it now. Yeah, well, yeah, y'all ain't got to agree, but some of you women accept it now. Amen. Amen, Walls, like the preacher would say. Pittsburgh says, see, that's why I didn't date nobody in high school, because everybody was related. I had to wait till I went to college, and then and that too was yes. You're right, TL. Yeah. Down here, I told my wife a couple of times, you know, that's a certain situation where when we moved back and I got a job at McDonald's, and you know, I was a new face around school, you know, I always thought I was cute anyway. Working at McDonald's, a couple of females was watching me at school, and you know, I was kind of shy at first, and female came up in there with her mom and her aunt, and she was looking at me, and I know she was checking me out at school, so I'm looking at her, you know, I was flipping my burger. I was flipping my burgers. Her mama looked at her and looked at me and noticed we were looking at each other. She told her daughter, I don't know what you're looking at him for. That's your cousin. She was like, And I looked at her. I was like, "Oh." That's why it's good to know who your people is. It's good to have these family reunions because you never know. You mess around and be too late. You mess around and be too late. Donnie Fries, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. Men are chasers and hunters by nature. Listen, it's in the DNA. It's in the DNA. Yeah, it's in the DNA by nature. A man's nature is to conquer. A man's nature is to get as much as is. If you look at out in the wild, a dog, I mean a lion, a wolf, a gorilla, it's all about territory and getting as much as I can, spreading my lineage. That's just the nature of the beast. And here's a question, guys. And we got to come back to this. Marriage. Ooh, well, I don't even know if I ought to take this right here. Brother Roosevelt, I might need you to tap on this right here. But nigga, what's going on? Who else? When did marriage, especially if we want to go to the Bible, get to being down on paper? Besides just having a union between man and woman. When did the marriage certificate come into play? I guess the question is the marriage certificate biblical or is the union? I don't know. I don't know how to quite frame the question. So Evan says, good morning. I agree. It was normal. Yeah. Thank you. Doctor said, yeah, it is. And you know, they trying to get this thing out now about the polygamy. Yeah, you know, polygamy coming back slowly but surely. Define cheating. Who came up with that term or word? That's a good one, Donnie. Who came up with the word cheating? Or was it jealousy? Because bottom line is, ladies, and this is not a slight to ladies, and this is not a upbeat for the men to say like it was good for the men to do that. Because like I said, I have a daughter. Some of you have daughters. You don't want your daughter being in between multiple men in a relationship. I don't care how much money they got. But who came up with the term cheating? Because it was women knew when he left here, he was going home or going somewhere, and he'll be back. They knew it. Huh? Todd, you're going to have a relationship special. It need to be on the table. Yeah. Man, this is a conversation. I'm gonna throw another question out here because I notice when I hit these type of questions that people have to really put an emphasis or tell their truth. I see the numbers go down, you know, because nobody want to say truth. Everybody want to be in a safe place. I think you guys who really don't mind saying, well, yeah, you right or yeah, you wrong, because these are conversations that people don't want to have. But I thank you guys who's sticking here. We've been going now for an hour and 30 something minutes, and the conversation has been awesome. And I want to talk about Brother Roosevelt, I would really like your input on this. And I'm gonna try to get a panel of pastors or preachers, men of the cloth, to have this conversation. Because this is what I say about church folk. One thing I say about church folk, we can't agree on nothing. We can't agree on nothing. Brother Roosevelt, matter of fact, Donnie Frierson, yeah, you as well. Tell me, when it comes to secret societies, as a man or woman of God, can you be a part of secret society and be a Christian? Can you be a Mason and still be a Christian? Oh, these topics nobody want to talk about. Can you be in a sorority or fraternity and still be a Christian? Because you are pledging to some type of deity, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know too much about it, but it's another conversation I told my wife I think it'd be good to have. And I'm just going to touch on it right now. We ain't going to go into it. But Brother Frierson, Dominique, I'd like to hear your what you think about it too. Roosevelt, Brother Frierson, tell me what you think. Jabari, I would love to hear what your opinion. Can you be a part of the y'all know where I'm going. I done heard preachers say there's no way you can do it, but I know preachers that are. What they're saying is, in order for you to be a part of the faith or be a Christian or be whatever, you have to denounce anything that you have pledged to. That's the basis of this question. Can you be a part of secret societies and still be a Christian? Eastern Star, all these, the Elks, the Masons, the Kappas, the Qs, AKAs, or the Deltas or Sigmas. Can you be a part of these secret societies and still be considered who? I guess it's a question of who do you pledge your allegiance to? Because they say that you are pledging allegiance to some type of Greek deity or or either a Greek god or whatever. All right. Hey, bro, years ago, you could not open your mouth about something like this when it comes to secret. Listen, I know. That's why I think it's now listen, I know some preachers that are hard against it, but I don't know if they're willing to come on the podcast and have a conversation with a preacher or somebody who is hard for it. Because like I said, we don't like confrontation. We don't like disagreement. And we feel like if we disagree about something that we, we can't continue to be friends and listen, nobody don't really know the answers to these questions but the good man upstairs. We all have our opinion on it. Donnie says, I think you can. All right, Donnie. Well, Donnie, I tell you what, man. Do you mind? I want to get Donnie on here one day. We'll just plan a date. Brother Roosevelt. Oh, Dominique. Let's see what. Let me say, I always feel like it's too many stipulations in these groups. You have to accept people for who they are, and everyone is made differently in the eyes of God. Okay, I hear you. I hear you. I would say it this way: it's unbiblical to be a part, and it's not of okay. See, this is what I'm talking about. I like how he just came on out and said. He said it's unbiblical to be a part, and it's not of God. I think we're gonna leave it right there. Because I know when I had this discussion, I know that I can get bring Brother Roosevelt on here. And listen, mind you, the other day, Brother Roosevelt and one of my other chat members had a disagreement about something. And he could tell you there was no arguing, there was no fussing, it was just a difference of opinion. And both of those brothers like, yeah, matter of fact, it was my my neighbor Dwayne. They had a disagreement. Was it what was that one word that it was a disagreement on? Because I don't allow no foolishness on this platform. Ain't nobody gonna tell them, oh, you dumb or you wrong for this. It was just straight out, a disagreement on plague and something, I believe. But nevertheless, I think it's a good conversation to have. I think it's a good conversation to have because I know pastors that are Masons. I know pastors that are Kappas, Qs, and I know pastors who say that they had to renounce or denounce their allegiance. They threw away all their cute, all Kappa stuff and blase. Donnie says, I don't think our Creator is that narrow-minded. Okay, all right, okay. I respect that. I guess this is the conversation where it say no man can serve two masters, because it is believed that when you pledge to an allegiance to a secret society, that you are pledging to some type of deity other than Christ, some type of deity other than God. And I think it's a scripture. Something, if I'm not, I'm not good with the scripture, but somebody, there's no secret something about secret. Roosevelt, yeah. That's right. The disagreement was about plague and pandemic. And those fellas, listen, we had a good conversation. Yeah. But what's that scripture about? There's no secret thing. God almighty. It's at the tip of my tongue, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Let's get back to this. But did all these rules come from God, or did they come from man? How can you determine what's unbiblical by God's terms, except for the 10 commandments? Well, I'm glad you said that, but remember, the 10 commandments was probably just a fraction of all the commandments. Because don't one of the main 10 commandments say something about putting no other God before him? And that's where the conversation is talking about pledging to some type of Greek god or some type of deity. Then I had one brother on here, he was saying that, because see, I'm going to tell you what a lot of people say, and then I'm going to get out of here. A lot of people say, well, if people understood what the organization would do, and sometimes, and I'm not saying in this situation, sometimes it doesn't matter the good deeds that the organization do. It's the root, the symbolism of the good deed. What is the symbolism behind what you're promoting? The KKK do good stuff. Yeah, they do. The skinheads say, listen, bad organizations or people that do, they have good stuff that they do. Listen, we got 7 minutes. We're going to end this conversation in 7. I'm a... Yeah. Yeah. But I'm going to get in touch with this pastor who I know he doesn't totally agree with it. And I'm going to get in touch with another pastor. And I'm going to tell this, I want to bring you on the platform. And I want you to talk and discuss. And whether you want to go scripture for scripture or whatever. Because that's one thing I learned about us folk. Us folk can find a scripture that fit our... we can find a scripture that fits something we want to talk about now. Yeah. Is being a part of a secret society, is it of God? Is it? If you think so, I want to know why. Yeah, brother. Brother Donnie, no judge. Listen, anybody have any slight of judgment on here, that they get blocked. They get blocked. Now, I'm gonna tell you one time, Kevin Randolph, what's going on? One time when the conversation came up, I didn't really do no research. I went off what somebody said. They said that, when you pledge to a society, you pledge to some other Greek god or something. I came on a platform, or either I made a post about something. Good morning, Kev. And I said, Johnson, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. And I said, yeah, if you're a part of a secret society, a Kappa, or either a sorority or a fraternity, you ain't a god. And the person came when they said, well, our sorority don't pledge to no Greek god. And I was like, or no god. I was like, oh, okay, all right. So that's what, and you know what? This is the perfect comment. This is a discussion that takes time to unravel through scripture and biblical understanding for the purpose of coming to an understanding. Yeah. That's why I got to have you on here, doctor, because I need the information. Yeah. And that's why I said there's no, well, now technically there is a right or wrong answer, But when we are having the discussion, there's no right or wrong, you know. That's why I say, because some people can always say, well, if you look at the good of what the organization do, you know, some people say, well, I don't think God looks that much into us being a part of the Secret Service. Some people say, no, according to the scriptures. Like Pastor Geno Jennings said, am I right? Bible. Geno Jennings says, Bible. According to the Bible, is being a part of secret societies accepted. Is it right or is it wrong? Or is there a right or wrong? Or does God just love us no matter what we are a part of? Which goes into the same topic of can you sing in the blues club and still sing in the choir or lead praise and worship, and it's just no difference. I know people that do both. Yeah, y'all, we got 3 minutes and I'm gonna close it out. It'll be 9 o'clock. I'll be time for me to get out of here. But this is a great discussion. Listen, we got to go. I got to get with Dominique. We're gonna get this life insurance conversation going on. Like I said, within the next 2 weeks. Dominique, go ahead and get your outline together. And like I said, then we can. I know you said that you was gonna send me a flyer. We can try to create a flyer to have, so we can have the podcast on a certain date, and hopefully it'll be recorded. We'll be able to repost it, and hopefully we can get some information to the people. But I like to take this time and thank everybody who took the time out to be a part of the Todd Mickens Let's Talk About It podcast show today. I appreciate y'all just for listen. If anybody want to be a blessing to the podcast, if you enjoy the show, just do so by no dollar amount is too big, no dollar amount is too small. Of course, everything goes straight back into the podcast. Everything goes straight back into the ministry. I call this a ministry because it is a ministry. Early morning praise, $ early morning praise. I don't care. Listen, $2, $1. Everybody send me $1 right now. Let me get $1 from everybody right now. $1. Listen, whatever you send it from the bottom of your heart. If you can't send nothing financial, hey, send your prayers. That's it. Send your prayers. Just send a good comment, good show. Keep up what you're doing. Do something. Hey, listen, you can also donate by way of Zelle. Zelle, Matthew Todd Mickens at yahoo.com. Matthew Todd Mickens at yahoo.com. Again, that's Matthew Todd Mickens at yahoo.com. Let's go back to the Cash App. Early morning praise, $ early morning praise. If you want to donate to the to my TV show, which is the Early Morning Praise, and this podcast, which is the Todd Mickens podcast, as well as right here, Zelle, Matthew Todd Mickens at yahoo.com. No amount is too big. And matter of fact, this is the name of my church here. You are tuned into the St. Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, Acts, Romans 10 and 9, Apostolic, International, Multicultural, Multi-Denomination, Coach Assembly Church by our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Well, I am your podcast pastor. Yeah, I am your podcast pastor. Yeah, let's see. We got a couple more comments here. This is my father-in-law tuning in all the way from Mississippi, saying enjoyed you as well. Thanks for tuning in, father-in-law. I appreciate you, man. I love you. Can't wait to get back down there. Dominique said, okay, I am about to send you my flyer and see if a date works for you. Okay. Thank you for tagging me. I'll be joining in some more. I enjoyed this. Have a great. Thank you for enjoying. Listen, guys, tell everybody there's a podcast that comes on every Sunday morning around 7:15 a.m. and the topics are any and everything. We talk about the stuff that people don't want to talk about. We don't judge. We don't criticize. We learn, and we appreciate other people's opinion. That's what we do here, right? That's what we do here. So I thank y'all for tuning in. So once more and again, it's your guy, Todd Mickens. I love y'all. Ain't nothing y'all can do about it. I'm about to get up out of here, about to get ready for church. I'm gonna tell you, I ain't want to go to church anymore because I drove back to Mississippi that night, but I got home and we ate. Man, I'm tired. But duty calls. I got to go do what I got to do. And I pray that you all find yourself in somebody's church as well, or either tune in by way of internet. All right, Javelle. Thank you, Javelle. Thank you. Reverend ABC, always a great show. Gotta go praise the Lord. Yeah, me too. Me too. Matter of fact, Y'all probably can't see it, but man, I got this stubble. I got to go in there and shave and look halfway decent. I told my wife, I said, I don't even know if I'm doing a podcast in the morning. I was so tired, but I'm glad I tuned in and got what y'all got. Listen, guys, we gonna get with Dominique, and she gonna get us with this life insurance. We're gonna come back and hit this topic about secret society. We're gonna come back and talk about matter of fact, I want to talk about matter of fact, real quick. Let me see. Let's see. I shouldn't mess with it right now, but we'll talk about it.
We're following the case of 25-year-old Shanquilla Robinson, who died while on a trip to Mexico with friends last month.
We're going to close out with this.
Her friends told them she died from alcohol poisoning, but an autopsy report is painting a completely different picture. Robinson's mother joined the screen earlier today. Here's a bit of what she said.
I didn't believe any stories, so after we received the autopsy on Thursday evening, the autopsy told us what had actually happened to her, and so that took it to a whole nother level.
Yeah,
because they're saying that it was alcohol, and alcohol was not the cause of her death.
Right.
CBS News national correspondent Jerika Duncan.
Let me hold that right there. I'm gonna just hold that right there. That's a whole nother Scott. But listen, guys, I love y'all. We'll be back. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Listen, I'll be out of here in less than 30 seconds. See y'all. Peace.